Joey Gallo, Rougned Odor. A pair of flashy 24-year-olds thrilling fans with their defense.
Mancini around third. He's heading to the plate. Here comes the throw. Got him! And another one for Roogie. Shoots this one out to left field. Gallo ranging out to his right and makes a great play.
And a recent flurry of home runs.
Ball is deep to right and gone!
Now these two Rangers hope to maintain the excitement against the Orioles. Rangers baseball is presented by Shiner Light Blonde. It's light done right. And today we get ready for the final game in this four-game series with the Baltimore Orioles. And the young sluggers have been lighting it up here the first three games. A chance today for the Rangers to make it 4 straight at home for the first time this year. Welcome in, everybody. Great to be with you once again. I'm Dave Raymond alongside the star of our little TV program here, Tom Grieve. And it has been a lot of fun. The Rangers offense is cruising. There are a lot of guys who are chipping in offensively, Tom, but really nobody quite doing it like Roogie and Joey Gallo.
No, you're right, Dave. The Rangers have won the first 3 games of this series. Roogie and Joey have combined to hit 6 home runs already in this series. Since the All-Star break, the Rangers lead the major leagues with 29 home runs. Odor and Gallo have hit 14 of them, almost half of them. Since the All-Star break, Roogie's OPS is 1365. Joey's is 1115. A lot of guys have contributed, but these two guys, offensively and defensively, have had a great start to the second half.
Yeah, it has been quite a display here these first couple of games of this series, so the offense has been great. Starting pitching has been pretty good as well. And today, interesting, a new face. Drew Hutchison signed with the team this morning and making a start today.
Yeah, that is interesting. He came up with Toronto as a 21-year-old, really good young prospect. Started this season in the Philadelphia Phillies bullpen, was signed by the Dodgers, went to their AAA team, and in 7 AAA starts, he went 3-0, a 1.22 ERA. In his last 4 starts at AAA, he's featuring 23 scoreless innings as he gets ready to start this afternoon.
All right, well, we love the sounds of that and look forward to seeing him this afternoon. Now, his battery mate, Robinson Chirinos, we shouldn't leave him out. He's been on a little hitting spree of his own. Let's put him in the spotlight when we come back. Rangers baseball is sponsored by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Ford is the best in Texas. By Shiner Light Blonde. It's light done right. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. It's light done right. Now, Robinson Chirinos, we can't forget about him. Yeah, Joey Gallo and Rougned Odor have been great lately, but Chirinos today doing the catching. And we put him in our Shiner Light Blonde spotlight today because the power numbers have been good for Chirinos lately as well.
They sure have, Dave. Since the All-Star break, not only has the power been there, the batting average has as well. .316 since the All-Star break with 4 home runs. He's hit 15 home runs this year while catching. That's first in the American League. Only Yasmani Grandal with 19 home runs has hit more home runs as a catcher than Robinson Chirinos. Shows how well he's played for the Rangers this year when you consider how he stacks up to other major league catchers.
Yeah, Rangers getting a lot of great production from behind the plate. And now for maybe a little update on our newest Ranger as well as the state of this Rangers rotation. Let's check in today with Emily Jones.
Yeah, a new face on the mound. Drew Hutchison getting his first start for the Rangers, of course, because he just signed with the team. And right now, the rotation a little bit in flux. The organization decided to keep the door open on a 6-man rotation right now. Everyone just getting bumped down with the addition of Hutchison. There you see what it will look like for the next 5 days. Martin Perez, Bartolo Colon, Giovanni Gallardo, then Ariel Jurado and Mike Minor will follow him. So they haven't exactly set themselves on this 6-man rotation, but they are leaving the door open for that. And because the team does not have a day off until the 15th, they're trying to keep their options as open as possible.
Yeah, I like it. So some extra arms, and then of course once they get to the 15th, they'll have a bevy of off days coming. They are owed plenty the way this season has laid out so far this year. All right, let's take a look at this Orioles starting lineup. They are 33-78 overall. Jace Peterson will lead it off in left field. Tim Beckham at shortstop, bat second. Jonathan Villar, Mark Trumbo, Danny Valencia the DH. He'll be batting 5th. Trey Mancini at first base, Renato Nunez at third, Joey Rickard in center field, and Austin Wynns has the job behind the plate.
And for Drew Hutchison, let's take a look at our Shiner arsenal. He throws a 4-seam fastball half the time. That's more often than not a high fastball. He'll throw a lot of sliders and occasionally a changeup. Came up to the Blue Jays as a 21-year-old and then suffered through some arm injuries, some time in the minor leagues. Spent some time with the Phillies at the beginning of this year in the bullpen, but here's his chance to get back to the big leagues as a starter.
And his first pitch is hit right back up the middle. That's a base hit for Jace Peterson.
And second to shortstop, number 1, Tim Beckham.
The Ranger defense today is delivered by New Braunfels Convention and Visitors Bureau. Willie Calhoun in left. Drew Robinson, recently recalled from AAA, will play center. Shin-Soo Choo will get the start in the outfield today. Jurickson Profar moves to third base. Elvis and Rugi up the middle. Ronald Guzman at first, and Robinson Chirinos behind the plate.
Now Peterson taking advantage of a guy coming back to the big leagues as a starter, no doubt wanting to throw out first pitch strike with a fastball, and so he turned on it. Now we'll bunt down to third. Barehand Profar. Throw to first in time to get Beckham. One away, and a great play once again by Jurickson Profar.
Well, if you're Jurickson Profar, you've had a chance for a number of years to learn how to make that play by watching Adrian Beltre. So it's a really good bunt. Jurickson wasn't playing in. It was bunted pretty hard, though, and Jurickson barehanded it, falling toward the line a little bit, maybe not quite as much as Adrian does when he makes that play. But any third baseman who's been here with the Rangers should at least have the fundamentals down on that play, just watching Adrian do it.
Nicely done. I'll credit Beckham with a sacrifice. Now the third pitch of the game finally misses the strike zone. Jonathan Villar, switch hitting second baseman, bats third today. Former Brewer, now Oriole. Came over as part of that Jonathan Scope trade, and Villar has produced for them. Now we've seen him in the leadoff spot. Had 5 hits in the first 2 games of this series. Yesterday finally slowed down. Villar was 0 for 4, now dropped to the 3rd spot in the order. I don't think very high, 3-0. Now you mentioned Hutchison, just 27 years old. His Rangers debut here today, and there's no doubt people turning on the television or tuning in and saying, what? Drew who? Just signed today. And it's 3-1. But he had Tommy John surgery years ago, back in 2012. One of a number, of course, in the game who has gone through that surgery and then subsequent rehab that can be so daunting. There's a strike. It's a full count. So he fell behind 3-0 on Villar. Now works the count back to full. Hutchison, in his first 2 years in the big leagues with Toronto, won 24 games in those first 2 seasons. Payoff pitch. Did he go? They want an appeal. No. Villar takes a close pitch and walks. 2 men aboard. So Hutchison in today, signed to that deal, thrown into the starting lineup, and to make room for him then, Austin Bibbins-Dirks optioned back to Round Rock.
Well, the Rangers had 8 men in their bullpen, so they'll go back to a more traditional number. Well, I guess nowadays 8 probably is the most common number, so they'll go down to 7 relievers.
Trumbo offers it the first pitch he sees, and that pop-up is just out of reach.
When Hutchison first got to the big leagues, he was only 21 years old with Toronto. Probably threw a little bit harder back then than he does now. He was a really good young pitching prospect, derailed by the injuries. But he's got a great opportunity now after going back as a free agent to the Dodgers during the season, pitching in their starting rotation. As we mentioned earlier in the open to the show, in his last 4 starts, he had 4 shutout outings. Total in those 4 starts of 22 1/3 innings.
Now 0-2 account on Trumbo.
In those 4 starts, he threw 37 innings, only walked 9 and struck out 38. So a veteran guy who's been in the big leagues pitching like that for a pretty extended period of time, 7 starts. He's ready to get back to the big leagues. All he needed was the opportunity, and the Rangers have provided that for him.
Rangers fans might have some vague recollection of Drew Hutchison going back to 2014. He pitched a ball game here at Globe Life Park and threw a 3-hit shutout. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, needed only 105 pitches in that ball game. One of the better games pitched in this ballpark's history, really. Stays 1-2 on Trumbo. I think you go back to the history of this ballpark back to 1994, and Hutchison, one of just 5 pitchers in their first outing of this ballpark to throw a complete game shutout. Guys like Sonny Gray and Michael Fulmer on that list, but so too is Drew Hutchison. This one line just over second, a base hit for Trumbo. Around third base, Peterson. The throw to the plate will be up the line, and now we've got a little mess on the base paths. Odor looking for somebody to throw out. Profar will take him all the way back to second base. Oh no. A little too many throws. But they finally do get Trumbo for the second out of the inning.
Well, it actually, for the Orioles, worked out pretty well. You've got a faster runner who stays at second and a slower runner who trots off the field. You see Robertson's throw to the plate. The batter kept on going. He's in a rundown. Profar does the right thing, runs him all the way back. You can see the base runner motioning to Trumbo to go back toward first, which he does. That gets Trumbo tagged out and allows VR to stay at second base. So, man on second now with a couple of outs. You got a faster runner there than you would have had.
So it's a single and an RBI for Trumbo, and then he is put out on the bases. If you're scoring at home, give you a moment to sharpen that pencil. 8-2 to 4 to 5 to 3. Fairly routine. 1-0 pitch, and that's a strike to Valencia. 1-1.
Trumbo's one of those guys. You can make a good pitch on him, and I think he did it at least once yesterday. It might even be a little bit outside, but he can reach and get the bat on the ball really well. And that's what he did on that pitch. It wasn't a bad pitch from Hutchison, but Trumbo just kind of reached out and stroked it into the outfield.
The liner to short and snared by Andrus to end the inning. So the Orioles do get a run in their first at bat tonight, and now the Rangers ready to go to work. yesterday's game for Baltimore. Today delivers the RBI single in the first. So 1-0 Orioles. And now our Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Rangers. Chu leading it off in right field. Odor at second. Elvis Andrus at short. Profar, Gallo, and Chirinos in the middle of things today. Guzman at first base. Calhoun in left. And Drew Robinson back with the ball club starting in center field, batting ninth. All that against Jeffrey Ramirez. 1-4 this year. And a .459 earned run average. It's his 7th start this season for Baltimore. Has also pitched once out of the bullpen. We are anticipating a rematch today of Ramirez and Martin Perez. That is until about the 8th inning last night, when we learned that Hutchison was going to be signed and thrust into the lineup, or into the rotation, that is, as Chu takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Bouncer down the first base side, foul. Well, Jeffrey Ramirez, a rookie, 24 years old, and this is, I mentioned, his 7th start of the year. It's his 7th start of his big league career. 6'2", 215 pounds. It's off the plate, 2-2.
The last 3 times that Ramirez has pitched, he's had at least a week between starts. He pitched on the 14th against the Rangers, didn't start again till 10 days later, and then a week after that. Thrown 94 to 98 pitches in each one of those starts. So while they're getting a good look at him, they're being a little bit careful about how they use him, making sure he's got plenty of rest between starts.
A little bit outside, full count now on Chu. Chu certainly not afraid to take a walk. A good leadoff at bat already, in that he will see at minimum 7 pitches. Bounces this one down to first base. Trey Mancini will take it to the bag. 1 away.
Talking about Ramirez, here are his pitches in his Shiner arsenal. A 4-seam fastball. Will also throw a 2-seam fastball, but not very much, not many sinkers. Good changeup. He loves to throw it 30% of the time. Also mix in a slider. That start against the Rangers back on July 14th. He pitched 5 shutout innings. He walked 3 in that start, but also struck out 7 in 5 innings.
He deals with Rougned Odor now. 1 out, nobody on. Hookie's homered in every game of this series. This game number 4. And takes outside. 2 for 3 yesterday with a home run. Also walked. Look at that, a .432 average at home the last 10 games here. This has been quite a little run for Odor. 5 for 9 in this series.
To me, when you take a changeup like that after a pretty good fastball, without flinching, without lunging, without bringing your hands down like you wanted to swing at it, you just look at it and take it. Pretty good idea. It gives you a pretty good idea that the hitter's seeing the ball pretty well. Not fooled at all by that pitch.
Pops this one up. Back up third base. Nunez tucks it away. 2 gone.
The Orioles defense is sponsored by Jack in the Box. Let's take a look at it. In the outfield, Jace Peterson starts in left. Mark Trumbo starts in right. Joey Rickard is in center. Adam Jones gets a rare day off. Renato Nunez getting a good look at third base for the Orioles. Tim Beckham, Jonathan Villar up the middle. Trey Mancini plays first base this afternoon, and behind the plate, Austin Wins.
Two away now for Elvis Andrus. And Elvis shoots this one out to right field, hanging up a little bit, and that one is off the base of the fence. Elvis to second, but that one caroms away, and he'll head to third. He has a stand-up triple. And Andrus now with a 16-game hitting streak.
I love the reaction of the fans. They knew it was a well-hit ball and had a chance to go over Trumbo's head. And so there's a nice roar. Then when the ball caroms off the wall and they realize it's going to be more than a double, the decibel level is elevated as the fans anticipated that. And Trumbo gets a little bit too close to the wall to play the carom, and it caromed by him. It's possible to hit that wall at the angle that Elvis hit it and have that ball carom and stay on the dirt and just keep on rolling toward the foul line, in which case you might have a chance for an inside the park home run.
Good job of taking advantage of the features here at the ballpark. Now Profar. So 16 games now for Elvis. And you look at the longest hitting streaks this year in Major League Baseball, or rather in the American League. Michael Brantley has the longest, or had the longest, at 19. 1-1 the count now. But the currently, anyway, longest streak belongs to Elvis Andrus. And just like yesterday, no real drama. Got it in his first at bat. Yesterday, it was a double in the first inning. Today, a triple. Elvis that time trying to play some games with Jeffrey Ramirez. So darting off third base. He's got a little room. Nunez plays off the line a good little bit. Two and two. Well, Profar numbers overall pretty good. 10 RBIs in the last 7 games. 3 for 9 in this series with a home run. And 4 RBIs. Yesterday was 1 for 4. Full count.
Well, Jerks has been a good RBI man for the Rangers. He's knocked in 10 in his last 7 games. And over a longer stretch, 58 games, he's knocked in 41 runs. When the season's over, he'll be among the Ranger hitters with the most RBIs. Be tough to catch Joey Gallo, especially the way Joey Gallo's hitting right now. Joey's at 65. Profar has 56.
Stays alive.
Jerks has got a knack for doing that. Really fooled, as you could tell by the way he lunged at that ball, but has a knack for being able to at least tick the ball to stay alive. And that looks like a pitch. If you swing at it, it's got swing and miss written all over it. But somehow Jurickson was able just to barely make the end of the bat tick the ball to stay alive, and does that quite a bit.
Mark Carlson, our plate umpire, signaling time called by Austin Wynns back behind the plate. Now we reset. And Profar draws a 7-pitch walk with 2 outs. Solder on the corners. Very nicely done. And it brings up Joey Gallo. Our WinStar World Casino and Resort leaderboard. You look at walks this year in the American League, and Chu, we mentioned earlier, does a good job of that. 3rd in the league with 69 of them. But there's Gallo, 7th in the American League, 56 walks, and he's really started to accumulate more and more of those lately, which have led to better pitches in the zone and subsequently more home runs.
Yep, that's for sure, and more times on base. That's a nice trend. 10 walks in his last 12 games. You can withstand the strikeouts. Joey has 14 of those in 12 games. But when you combine them with walks and home runs, you don't notice them as much, that's for sure. In fact, once Joey raises his average a little bit, which he will, if he continues to increase his walk rate, which he probably will, and his on-base percentage keeps creeping higher, the strikeouts will be talked about less and less. And you can decrease those. They're never going to go away, but he should be able to decrease them a little bit as well.
Takes high, 2-0.
Biggest thing is take pitches out of the strike zone and swing at strikes. And he's getting better and better at that.
Well, Ramirez has given up 6 home runs in 33 innings coming into play, so he can find the occasional barrel. Toss over to first base. Profar didn't have much of a lead. Andrews at third, Profar at first. Held off 3-0.
And Joey wanted to swing badly at that 2-0 pitch. But just like Rugi showing discipline, so was he. Not a strike, obviously. Same pitch those other pitches were in.
Already the third 3-ball count for Ramirez today. Here it comes. And there's ball 4. So Gallo takes the walk, and they're loaded up.
And that's respect right there from the Orioles. That was a 3-0 changeup that he threw to Joey Gallo. Perfectly content to get Joey to chase, or if he doesn't, throw 4 straight balls and walk him. Not an intentional walk by any means, but not a walk that they're too worried about. Robinson might make him worry about it, though. He's hit 7 home runs in his last 14 games. He's been almost as hot as Rugi and Joey.
I see some good numbers, good trends for Chirinos. You see that at the bottom of the screen there, a .299 average in the last 24 games for him. Big power numbers lately. He's on a modest 5-game hitting streak at the moment. The Rangers have had some success with the bases loaded. And there's a pitch on the way to him, well off the plate. So Chirinos among American League catchers, 15 home runs. So leading the American League from that position. Once again, time granted here by Carlson. Well, the inning started with a couple of quick outs. Chu grounded out to first. Odor popped out. But Andrews, Profar, and Gallo, triple walk have loaded him up. And this ball hit out to left field. That one will get down, base hit. Andrews is in. Profar on his heels. Here comes the throw. Not in time. Profar gets in ahead of it. And the Rangers have taken the lead 2-1.
You can't blame the Orioles for wanting to pitch carefully to Joey Gallo. He's hit a home run in each of the first 3 games of this series, and then you've got a right-hand hitter coming up next. But in this particular case, that right-hand hitter is in a hot streak, and when Robinson gets in a hot streak, he can do a lot of damage, and they found out right there. Got a fastball to hit. He's hit a long home run in this series as well. That one picks up 2 runs. Profar with solid speed, not burning speed, but gets a good jump on the play with 2 outs. And needed every bit of that speed and a nice slide to sneak by the catcher for that run.
So a 2-run single by Chirinos. And it gets Guzman to the plate. Tough first inning for Jeffrey Ramirez, who has already thrown 26 pitches, and some of these very high stress pitches for him. Nice little 2-out rally. There's 1-0. Guzzi's had a little trouble in this series. 0 for 3 yesterday with a strikeout. 1 for 6 in the series. And he's in a hole here, a ball and 2 strikes.
And that's the changeup that I mentioned when Odor was up that he took without even flinching after a fastball. It's a pretty good changeup. The one he threw to Rugi that he took was a good one. That one he threw to Ronald was a great changeup. And when you're used to seeing a fastball, it's even harder not to swing at it when you see the changeup. Good combination. Out in front of the changeup, come up and in with a fastball. A little bit late on it, but hung in there, fouled it off.
The 1-2 pitch, and Guzman strikes out, swinging. The inning is done, but a little 2-out rally for the Rangers, and they plunge headlong into the lead, 2-1. Right, folks, enjoying some sunshine today on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Rangers on top, 2-1. As we go to the second inning, Trey Mancini will lead things off for Baltimore, and he takes a strike from Drew Hutchison. Now let's see if Hutchison able to get back on track a little bit here in the second. Now working with a lead, and he just misses there, 1-1. See Mancini's low average at .229, but 15 home runs.
He's a guy that hit in the 290s last year. Had a pretty extended slow streak to start the year. Like a lot of the Ranger hitters, he's been swinging the bat pretty well since the All-Star break. In fact, like a lot of Oriole hitters, they've been doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's what makes this series kind of interesting. So many Orioles hitters still putting up great offensive numbers, but the Rangers have just outmatched them in this series. A little bit high. There's ball 4. So a walk to Mancini starts the second inning. Well, Saturday, August 18th. Circle that one on your calendar. A 7:05 game against the Angels. And the first 15,000 fans going to get a Nomar Mazara bobblehead, courtesy of Coca-Cola and Walmart. Tickets are available now at TexasRangers.com, or you can give them a call at 972-RANGERS. That Nomar smile right there, the big chill. Lead man on here, and Renato Nunez. It's this one straight up in the air near shortstop. 1 away. It's always nice for a pitcher. Brings up now Joey Rickard.
It's really nice after a walk to get a 1 pitch out with the next hitter. Definitely takes a little bit of the pressure off.
Rickard had spent a good portion of the season this year at AAA Norfolk, where he was hitting over 300. Most recently recalled on July 4th. .217 average for him, 6 home runs. And he takes a strike. Hutchison allowed a couple of hits and a walk in the first inning. And this one a little bit in. 1-1. But his team came back, scored a couple of runs, put him on top, 2-1. Now his job to come throw a shutdown inning. Maybe a ground ball here from Rickard would really do the trick. A little bit low. Rickard He came to the Orioles via the Rule 5 draft, taken from Tampa Bay back in 2015. Good outfielder. They use him all over, left, right, today, and center. And a bouncer in the dirt. Throw back down to first base, and Mancini back in there easily.
I mentioned the 4 starts that Drew had at AAA in the Dodger organization before this start. Pitched 22 1/3 innings. He only walked 9 batters. A little bit more than you'd like to see, I guess. No, that's in his last 37 innings. Got that wrong. 9 walks in his last 37 innings, which is really good to go along with 38 strikeouts.
Now, he asked for and was granted his release from the Dodgers, or their AAA club, right at the end of July, and the Rangers snatched him up. As this one is inside, that's ball 4. Rickard heads down to first.
No, you look at what he did with the Dodgers AAA team. Oklahoma City is where they are. 7 starts, nice record, nice ERA, scoreless streak, 23 innings. One thing he didn't do over those 4 starts is walk many. But in this game, he's walked 3 out of the first 9 hitters that he's faced. And of course, even though he's been in the big leagues, getting called back up, the circumstances for this season might be a little amped up for this start, which could lead to minor control issues.
He deals with the 9th place hitter now, Austin Wynns. Wynns has hit in each of the last 3 games he's played. Takes high, 1-1. Hutchison was a guy from Lakeland, Florida, and then out of high school he was pretty convinced that he was going to be a Hatter. Going to go play for Stetson right near Orlando, Florida. I think it might technically be in Celebration, Florida. But the Blue Jays liked him. They had him pretty high on their draft board. As this ball hit well out to left field, Calhoun goes back and he looks up, and that one is gone. Austin Wynns with just his 3rd home run of the year, but it counts for 3 runs. And so the Orioles back in front. It's a 4-2 ball game.
Well, obviously the whole inning gets set up with the leadoff walk, then another walk. Now after a couple of walks, I'm sure he says to himself, I've got to throw a strike right here. If you're the hitter, you kind of have a choice. After a couple of walks, do I take a pitch, make him throw strikes to me, or do I bank on him needing to throw a strike, get a good one to hit, and hit it right off the barrel of the bat? And that's the choice that Austin Wynns made. It's exactly what he did. Got a good pitch and hit it.
So 4-2 Orioles. Now Jace Peterson, the leadoff man, and he takes one down the middle. 1-1. Peterson had a base hit in the first. Hits this ball sharply down to first. Nice backhand stop by Guzman. He'll go to the bag himself. 2 away. You said it last night, Tom, that while some guys aren't as excited about playing first base, Guzman makes it look awesome down there.
Well, he takes pride in it. I think he loves playing defense. He plays it with a little bit of flair and a little bit of style. One of his signature move is the splits that he does. And so he's a guy, you know, I guess you could get bored watching some first basemen play first base, but not him. He's exciting to watch him play. Makes a lot of great plays. I love the splits, way he scoops balls out of the dirt. And as tall and rangy a target as he is at first base, the infielders have to love having him at first base. Joey Gallo too, for that matter. 2 big guys with long reach. What an infielder hopes is that their first baseman is able to dig balls out of the dirt, because throughout the course of the season you're going to throw some in the dirt, even on routine plays. You like a guy that can reach higher than a normal 5'11", 6 foot tall guy to get a high throw. And a pitcher loves the fact that he can make plays to his right and his left to save base hits. So the thought process by some fans might be, well, whoever's not a real good defensive player, put him at first base. And that may be true in the Little League, but it's definitely not true in the big leagues. If you have a bad first baseman, it's going to show up every game.
Ball and 2 strikes on Tim Beckham. And he'll shoot another one foul. Beckham laid down a sacrifice in the first inning. Nice play by Profar at third base to retire him. And Hutchison trying to finish off this second inning. This will be his 38th pitch of the ball game. And a little tapper by the mound toward that left side, picked up by Profar. Good throw in time to get to Speedy Beckham, and the inning is done. But Baltimore, with a 3-run homer from Austin Wynns, has retaken the lead. It's 4-2. Mariners this Monday through Wednesday. Go to TexasRangers.com/specials. Willie Calhoun leading off this second inning, batting 8th today. And Ramirez goes down low with that one. It's 1-1. So it'll be Calhoun, then Drew Robinson, and back up to the top. And Willie getting some pretty regular playing time these days out in left field. And he's done a good job of getting on base. On a 5-game hitting streak going at the moment. That's hits in 9 of the last 11 games in which he has played. Takes high here. It's 2-2.
And as a young player, you hope you're in a position when you get a call up to get a chance to play. Not just occasionally, but every day. Takes the pressure of going 0 for 4 away from you, knowing you'll be in the lineup the next day. Lets you relax a little bit. It's tough to relax as a young player, getting an opportunity to prove yourself in the big leagues, but still, knowing you're going to be in the lineup makes a big difference. You don't feel like every at-bat is the end of the world, even though you approach it with intensity and try to succeed in every at-bat. It's nice to know that you're going to be in there the next day no matter what happens.
Last year when he got his call up with the Rangers, ended up playing in 13 games down the stretch. Willie hit .265 in that little audition with a home run and 4 RBIs. 23 years old, still a very young player with an outstanding hit tool, as we like to say, and he draws the walk here to start the second inning. A little more on Willie. Let's check in with Emily.
Yeah, Willie admitted that it took him a little while to get comfortable here, to get comfortable in the clubhouse, to feel like he was kind of just one of the guys. He said when he first got up, he was a little apprehensive. He was still feeling his way out, and he really attributes his recent, success, especially offensively, to that comfortability factor. Is that a right word? But
sounds
the fact
right
that
to me.
he feels comfortable, in his setting and with the guys around him, and so he said that's really has allowed him to relax and just be the hitter, especially that he knows he can be.
Well, that makes sense, Em, no doubt about it. I think it's normal for a young player to get called up and wonder how he'll be received in the clubhouse, even though you might have met some guys in spring training. You really haven't gotten to know them. So you want to play well for yourself, but you want to be part of team success and do the things to help your team win. You want to get a hit for your pitcher to drive in a run. You want to make a play in the outfield for him. And getting comfortable, big part of being a big league player.
Robinson just pounds that one foul. And here's a guy we have seen hit the ball with some authority when he has been up with the ball club. You see, he was hitting .308 at AAA Round Rock earlier this year. He hit just .175 with a home run with the Rangers.
This kid he's got a beautiful swing. it's taken him a while really to get untracked. In the minor leagues, he's had some good years. I think the 120 at-bats that he's had since July 1st, where he's hit .330 in AAA, is probably the longest hot streak that he's had as a minor leaguer. And it's put him in position to get some playing time now that he's called up.
Hits this ball out to right center. It drops down and will roll to the wall. Calhoun to third base. They'll stop him there on the double by Drew Robinson. So a walk and a double and a good start to inning number 2.
And I think that's what you're talking about right there, Dave, when you talk about him making contact and getting good results when he does, is the ball jumps off his bat. I don't think he really hit that ball exactly on the barrel of the bat. He actually had to reach for it a little bit, but still that ball had good exit velocity, jumped off his bat into the gap, turned into a double. And I think he's one of those kids that might be a late bloomer, late in his 20s, could develop into, hopefully a regular player. He plays a lot of different positions, but if not, maybe a guy kind of like Jurickson Profar, who gets a lot of playing time, moves around a little bit. Versatility is very helpful, but his swing should play, and the success that he's had recently at AAA might be a springboard to that kind of success, hopefully. And I think what he needs is just an opportunity to get some playing time. He'd be a pretty valuable guy on a ball club with his versatility.
That was a good shot of Profar walking in the dugout there. A guy who fans have been waiting a while for his talent to surface on a consistent basis at the big league level. And, Drew Robinson, now 26 years old. He celebrated his birthday here in the middle of the season, but he had 6 home runs, 5 doubles last year in his sporadic time with the ball club, and just hit that ball pretty well, even though didn't square it up maybe the way he can. Drew lifts this one out into left field. Peterson is underneath him. Tagging at third, Calhoun. He'll head to the plate, and he scores without a throw to the plate. So it's a 1-run game on the sac fly by Chu.
Dave, given the time and with a little research, you could probably come up with 10 or 15 players in the big leagues right now who are looked at as very successful offensive players who probably didn't get a chance to play a lot and blossom until they were 26 to 28 years old. It's not uncommon at all. And so when you see that happen and a guy get a chance, you hope that you've got the guy at the right time. Sometimes you get rid of him when he's 24 or 25 years old. You might watch him do it somewhere else.
Tell you a name that immediately comes to mind when you say that is Jose Bautista.
Yeah.
I mean, his
Justin
takeoff
Turner.
late in his career, yeah.
Nelly Cruz was a guy that, he had some big time success in AAA, but didn't blossom as a big leaguer until his late 20s. That's just, just thinking of a few, but if you scoured the rosters, you can probably find one on almost every roster.
Odor fouls this one away. The count 0-2. Rugi popped up in the first inning. Our TXU Energy power player to watch. And just another way that we can carve up the numbers for Rugi since July 1st. And this is all of Major League Baseball. There he is, top 5 or 6 in baseball in all those offensive categories. 9 home runs, the slugging percentage over 700. Shoots this one out to left field. Peterson racing on, and he won't get to it. Drops in beautifully. Robinson has to stop at third, but Odor with some good hustle out at second base with a 1-out double.
Yeah, that's when you're hot. When everything you hit hard is falling in and you're not being robbed, and then occasionally you're fooled a little bit, hit a ball right off the end of the bat, and you still get a base hit. Double in the scorebook tomorrow. Infield back, 1 out. Great chance for Elvis to pick up the tying run or more.
Yep, Elvis already with the triple. Fouls that one away. Andrews, I'll tell you what, man, this is crazy. We've spent all that time talking about Odor the last week and change now as his game has just taken off. We've started to see Joey really build some momentum at the plate. Chirinos earlier today. Andrews has really begun quite a stretch himself. 1-1. His has been a little quiet. I mean, now a 16-game hitting streak. But he has a couple of doubles, a triple in this series alone. And he's scored 3 runs. So some of the power starting to show again. One and two.
That was a good pitch to hit. Elvis is trying to drive the ball to right center field. And he's fouled off a couple of pitches. That was a hanging slider, it looked like. It's kind of an easy pitch for Elvis to drive to right center field in the air. Wasn't quite able to do it on that pitch.
Oh, no. Hopefully that hit the bat. Elvis looks no worse the wear as he walks that one off.
Yeah, that can happen when you're looking for something out over the plate. You're behind in the count. You're thinking, well, maybe he'll go away with a slider. That's one of those pitches that's pretty close to breaking your hand right there. Looks like it hit just a little bit above his right hand. Or to hit the barrel, hit the end of the bat. Hit the butt end of the bat. Boy, that is really lucky. He's already been on the disabled list once this year for an extended period of time because of that. That hit the knob of the bat, it looked like.
2-2. Yeah, that was close. The average at 281 for Andrews coming in. 4 homers, 19 RBIs. He takes in the dirt. It's full count. Boy, the pitch count for Ramirez continues to climb. I mean, he's at 54 pitches already. This will be his 25th of the inning.
This is going to be a very short appearance for him. He already walked 3, on the verge of walking 4.
The bullpen already pretty taxed in this series. Up into the bat, slow roller to second base. VR will throw out Andrews, but he picks up the RBI and he ties the game. Robinson scores easily. Odor now just 90 feet away at third.
It's time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. We'll take a look at Jurickson Profar on the Adrian Beltre-like play on the bunt. Very nicely done defensively. And on the base paths, sprint speed 29.5 feet per second, well above the major league average, and you needed every bit of it. And a head-first dive, reaching his hand in to score that run. That was on a well-hit single to left field by Robinson Chirinos.
Well, Profar now with a chance to pick up an RBI. He has Odor at third base. And Ramirez gets him to swing and miss at that one. 1-1. Well, we've seen Jurickson play all 4 infield positions in the span of 4 days. In fact, he's done that twice this year. What does today, though? I mean, he's batting cleanup today. Yesterday was in the leadoff spot. I mean, the different places he plays on the diamond, the different spots he'll take in the order. It's really remarkable how flexible he seems to be for Jeff Bannister. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, it's probably happened 10 times in the last 2 years. I don't have the slightest idea. It occurs to me that it's more rare than that. The last time a player in back-to-back games went from leadoff to cleanup. Doesn't seem like that would have happened very much, but right when you say that, you find out it's not that rare. Sure feels like it is, though. It's play by the catcher. Keep that ball from going back to the screen for a run.
3 balls and a strike on Profar. Of course, that's perhaps a statement on Jurickson Profar, as much as it's a statement on the way the game of baseball is now managed and played too, right? I mean, certainly 20 years ago you'd never see that.
I don't think so. I don't remember it. But then again, there's a lot of things I don't remember.
It's a 3-1.
It'll just be one of many.
Profar takes the walk. And there have been on the corners. Well, how about a little break now to hear from our good friends over at Southwest Kia.
At Southwest Kia, we've made car buying easy. $250 down delivers, monthly payments $250 a month or less. SouthwestKia.com.
Well, Jeffrey Ramirez continues to toil. 30 pitches in the first, 30 pitches so far here in the second. And just as a guy's legs might be getting a little rubbery out there, the arm getting a little tired, the focus starting to drift. He has 2 men on, and that's to look at Joey Gallo.
He has tended to throw a lot of pitches this year. In his last 3 starts, which have been at least a week apart, he's thrown about roughly 95 pitches and only gotten through 5 innings with those 95 pitches. Today he's taking it to a little higher level, though. This will be his 62nd pitch in the second inning, averaging over 30 pitches an inning.
2 balls and no strikes on Joey. Remember, he went 3-0 on Gallo. As our Southwest Airlines bullpen live look shows Tanner Scott already preparing for the Orioles. So far, Ramirez, in 2 plate appearances with Gallo, has not thrown him a strike. 6 balls, no strikes. Two and one.
When he finally did, it was a changeup and not a fastball.
So since the All-Star break, Gallo and Odor both with 7 home runs. They trail Chris Davis, Matt Carpenter, and Rhys Hoskins has 8 now. But those 2 have homered in every game in this series so far. This game 4 today. The 2-1. Broken bat bloop out into right field. That's a base hit. Odor is in. Profar to third. They'll stop him there. And Gallo's bat dies a hero. He puts the Rangers back in front, 5-4.
Well, the exit velocity of the barrel of the bat was probably almost the same as the exit velocity of the ball off the bat. Ramirez gets the ball in a little bit. Joey's left with about a foot of the bat is all in his hands. But I'd say the ball didn't really jump off the bat, but the bat jumped off the ball pretty well. End of the bat ended up out in right field.
Yeah, the ball just had better aerodynamics. Otherwise, that's a dead heat.
Ball came off the bat at 77. Well, as we said the other day when Joey had a soft hit, he's got a lot of them coming. He's had a lot of balls 100 miles an hour off the bat that have turned into outs.
So Robinson Chirinos, he had the 2-run single in the first.
I'm thinking this is his last batter right here, whether he gets him out or not. 2 left-hand hitters coming up.
A tough spot for Buck Showalter. I mentioned that the series hasn't gone well for their starters. In the opening game, Andrew Kashner went an inning and 2/3. That was Thursday. Friday night, David Hess went 3 1/3. Yesterday, Showalter got a little break when Dylan Bundy went 6 innings, but ended up taking the loss. That bullpen has really been worked. And now this today, 2nd inning. And a pitch way upstairs, 2-1 to Chirinos. And it gets to be dangerous territory just for the inning itself. Showalter pretty mindful of pitch counts. And you're talking about nearly 40 pitches in the inning now for Jeffrey Ramirez. Tanner Scott appears to be all set out there. 2-1. Inside. Well, the Rangers have had a lot of long at-bats. They've had 5 at-bats that have gone at least 7 pitches. This is the 6th 3-ball count for Ramirez. Good hitter spot here for Chirinos, and he takes outside ball 4. So they are loaded up. And yeah, there's no question about this. Here comes Buck Showalter. That will do it for the rookie. What a rough afternoon it was for Jeffrey Ramirez. Our who's in, who's out pitching change, sponsored by In-N-Out Burger. Ramirez is out. Tanner Scott, the man who's in, and we'll be back with him in a moment. Take your eyes off this one as we continue play here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Hey, look at the season series. And the Rangers had a little trouble in Baltimore. Dropped 2 out of 3 there, but they have won all 3 games so far here. Hey, look at the runs per game. Nearly 7 per game for the Rangers in this series, and they've certainly out-homered Baltimore.
The Oriole games in Baltimore were close games. They're all one-run games. Each game could have gone either way. Yesterday's was a good ball game. That was a close game. Rugi's home run gave the Rangers a little cushion late. First 2 were blowouts. Hard to tell where this one's headed.
Well, Tanner Scott comes in, and he delivers a strike to Ronald Guzman.
I have a little bit better idea where this one's headed if Ronald Guzman launches one into the upper deck. I think I'll be able to at least make a statement then.
Well, he had his first career grand slam in Baltimore, so he could make it number 2. Yeah, let's go back to that series right before the break. That was the first inning of that final game on Sunday. And did he go? No. Mike Estabrook down there at third base. Keeps us at a back going for Guzman, who struck out in the first. And Baltimore's bullpen will have its back up against the wall today.
And Mike Estabrook is sitting at third base right now going, man, I'm glad I caught last night's game as the home plate umpire.
Guzman chases strike 3, and the inning is done. So Scott comes in and restores a little bit of order, but Rougned Odor and Joey Gallo, we talked about them in our open today, and their bats once again helping the Rangers out to a 5-4 lead. Betty scored more than 10 runs in this series. They did that in the opening game. That means you save $10 on full price tickets in the Lexus Club Terrace, Corner Box, Upper Reserve, and Upper Box seating sections to upcoming Rangers games. Discount will apply this next week, Monday through Wednesday, with the Mariners in town. Go to TexasRangers.com/specials and come out and see us. All right, another test for Drew Hutchison as he pours in a strike to Jonathan Villar. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Baltimore coming up. Hutchison gave up a run in the first, 3 runs in the second. Rangers continue to bail him out offensively. And he gets ahead 0-2. I'd like to see him put a goose egg on the board here. His Rangers debut. Villar walked in the first inning. He takes a little bit high. And Villar has been a good offensive addition for this Baltimore team. Not that they really needed that. They've got enough firepower to score some runs. And they have, in fact. But he's taken over second base for them. Largely hit out of the leadoff spot, although today batting third. And it's a full count. Ground ball. That one's fouled just a little wide of the bag down there at third. Now the Orioles, after they conclude this game, they will head on a travel day for them. Baltimore will be going to Tampa. They have tomorrow off and then a 3-game series against the Rays Tuesday through Thursday. VR lost this one out over second. It drops in, base hit. So the lead man on here in the third. That gives us a moment now for a Chevy game break. Let's check in with Leslie McCaslin. Thanks, Leslie. Nationals have won 7 of their last 10.
Trying to figure out how to get back in the race. A hot Bryce Harper would help, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they make their move. You know, you're still talking, we're a little less than a third of the season remaining, but that's a lot of baseball.
Sure.
And for those Braves and Phillies, what a wonderful season it has been. And they may well win that division and even a wild card. But there's also the chance that that experience and the veteran presence of the Nationals overcomes them in the second half. VR trying to run to the pitch, and he is gunned down at second by Chirinos for out number 1. That's a beauty.
Yeah, I thought he had a pretty big lead and a pretty good jump. And when he took off, I wasn't really giving Robinson a great chance to get him. Let's see if he did. That's going to be close. That might go the other way.
And I think Buck Showalter's already asked. He wants this one to go to review. Yeah, that one may indeed get overturned.
The ball is down. Robinson has to reach for it. Does a great job of doing that, getting rid of it quickly. Perfect, accurate throw. Not sure that he had time to get him. Drew is not particularly quick to the plate, and VR had a big lead. So with those things in play, that was a great try by Robinson Chirinos. Hopefully it'll stand, maybe it won't.
So our Ford replay challenge on the headsets right now with the replay crew back in New York, the crew that monitors every game, and they do have extra views and angles that we don't necessarily have on the broadcast. A lot of what they see is what we see, but they do have a couple of extra cameras, and now we'll see what they saw in super slow-mo. They saw him in there safely. So the call overturned. And that's a stolen base for VR, his 5th of the year. So a man at second base, 1-1 the count on Mark Trumbo. Trumbo had the RBI single back in the first inning. Scored the first run of the game for either team. Now the Orioles, very much unlike the Washington Nationals, just a few miles away on the Beltway there in DC. The Orioles not in any kind of race. 33 wins, 78 losses. And that one in tight. Evens the count on Trumbo, 2-2. Start looking at the schedule for the remainder of the season for Baltimore. They have 24 games left against the likely playoff field in the American League. Cleveland, Houston, Boston, Oakland, the Yankees. This ball hit well out to left field. Calhoun goes back, and that one is gone. Trumbo's driven in 3 runs today. That's his 14th home run of the year. And once again, Baltimore back in front. It's 6-5.
Well, Trumbo's not having his best year, but he's not that far removed from hitting 47 or 48 home runs, leading the American League in home runs. So when he hits one, it's not a surprise. And he is strong. He just kind of reached for this ball. Kind of a one-arm follow-through, 2 rows back to straightaway left field. StatCast AI, powered by AWS, gives us some of the details on that home run. Not one of his hardest hit ones, not one of his longest ones, but it counts just as much as any of them.
Ground ball
Whoa.
third. Nice snag by Profar, and he'll throw out Valencia. One away.
Jurickson has really played nicely today at third base. Second nice play he's made in the, on a batted ball, and he had the nice bunt play that he charged barehanded and threw to first base. Let's take a look at it. Ball was hit pretty hard. Not much time to take your step in a lunge. A good, strong, accurate throw.
First pitch to Mancini fouled away. Now Baltimore leads by a run. They scored a run in the first inning to go up 1-0 and saw that lead disappear. Scored 3 runs in the second inning to go up by a couple and saw that lead disappear. Now 2 runs here in the third to emerge again 6-5.
Let's go back to StatCast AI powered by AWS and get the numbers. Exit velocity, pretty good, not great, 98, pretty high launch angle. And even with a one-arm follow-through, he still hit that ball 405 feet. We've seen Trumbo get a number of hits on balls out over the plate. Today, his first time up, he singled to right field on a pitch away. Starting to heat up a little bit. His average is up over 260 now.
Good young player. Part of this Baltimore core. I think that when they look ahead and think about how they build for the future, you know, former 8th round pick in 2013. He's 26 years old. Chopper back up over the mound. Andrews able to get in front of it, and he throws out Mancini. 2 away. Brings up Renato Nunez. So Hutchinson, his pitch count creeping up towards 60, and it may not be a real long afternoon for him.
Well, by the looks of the bullpen, which has been inactive, Jeff Bannister is going to try to get as many pitches as he can. Remember, Austin Bibbins-Dirks, who would be a leading candidate to be the long man today, has been optioned to make room for Hutchinson. So with a 7-man bullpen, I don't think Banny is too keen on the idea of going to it the second or third inning. Hopefully Drew will kind of right the ship and be able to get through 5 or 6.
Ball and a strike on Nunez, who popped up in the second on the first pitch he saw on that at bat. And he turns this one foul for strike 2. Nunez, the former Ranger, really former Oakland A, now with Baltimore. The 1-2 pitch to him, fouled away. So 60 pitches now for Hutchinson in his Rangers debut. Nunez with a little 5-game hitting streak going, and he reaches out and bloops this one out over third base. And he is on with his first hit of the game, so it's a 6-game hitting streak. And that'll bring up the center fielder Joey Rickard. So it's hard when you see Baltimore not to think about what could happen with this team. They made a lot of moves at the trade deadline. Showalter in his 9th season as the manager in Baltimore did not anticipate what has happened this year. 33 wins, 78 losses. Today they came into play 44.5 games back of Boston in the American League East. That is a stunning number. Their winning percentage is under 300. And as I mentioned a moment ago, the remaining schedule, a pretty tough one. I mean, they've got a lot
of games against a lot of contending teams. Now, the worst Astros team of their rebuild, or the teardown portion of their rebuild, went 51-111. Well, Baltimore would have to win 18 games the rest of the way to get to 51 wins. Seeing as they've won 33 to this point of the season, that starts to sound kind of unlikely. 2-1. Hutchison, meanwhile, trying to finish off this third inning. Rickard walked his first time up, eventually scored a run. A 2-1. That'll square the count. They get some activity now in the Rangers bullpen. There's Matt Moore. 2-2 pitch. And a fly ball center field. Robinson ranging back. Has room and he makes the catch. The inning is done. But two more for the Orioles. They have taken the lead. Willie Calhoun leads off when we come back. And coming up this Wednesday, Texas Chili Company $1 Hot Dog Day, Rangers and Mariners. It's a 105 game. And you can still get tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. And that will be a big series against the Mariners. They're all big right now for the Mariners, who find themselves fighting for their lives, their postseason lives anyway. Once thought to be almost a no-brainer that they would get into the postseason. That is no longer the case. Willie Calhoun starts things here in the third inning for the Rangers. Tanner Scott's pitch. This one hit sharply on the ground to shortstop. Beckham has time to check the laces. Throws out Willie, and one away. We check in with Emily Jones.
Thank you very much, Progressive fan of the game time. It is Carson Bell. Carson, how old are you? 8. 8. Is it hot enough out here for you? Yeah. And tell me who your favorite player is. Rougned Odor, and that is why I'm giving you the fan of the game, because he would approve of that hat. You know why? Because Roogie's been wearing his hat out to practice, his cowboy hat. Do you approve of that?
Yep.
Obviously. Guys?
Yeah, Roogie's hat looks like a carbon copy of the one that he had on, too. I was watching him out there this afternoon, this morning actually, working with Tony Beasley. With a hat just like that.
Yeah, I like it. I love it when Roogie's out there taking ground balls in his cowboy hat. Well, Robinson takes one a little bit in, 2-0 the count. Drew had the double back in the second inning. I say back in the second inning. That was last inning. Seems like that was way back in the second inning. Two and one. Now both starters have struggled today. Tanner Scott, the first man out of the bullpen for either team. He got a strikeout of Guzman last inning, just to induce that ground ball off the bat of Willie Calhoun, and evens the count here at 2-2 on Robinson. Hutchison hasn't put up a goose egg yet in his 3 innings of work. Hopes to get a chance in the fourth. We'll see what the Rangers do there. This ball hit hard, but caught at second base. VR able to get up and grab that one. 2 away. So at the top of the order for Shin-Soo Choo, who, by the way, is going to be signing autographs Tuesday, 10:30 at Whataburger, State Highway 161 and Arkansas Lane in Grand Prairie. Go out and see him, and while you're there, sign up to be a Whataburger Whata fan. You could win tickets to an upcoming Rangers game as well as Whataburger for a year. Check it all out, TexasRangers.com/appearances. So Chu today has grounded out and then driven in a run with a sac fly.
Dave, Jerry Steele
Yeah.
has been a great Ranger fan for a long time, and I want to take 2 seconds to say, Jerry, thank you very much for being such a loyal Ranger fan.
You can do that anytime you want.
Well, sometimes, you know, we can't do it every game, all game long, but sometimes it's appropriate, and in this case it was.
Chu went around on that one. 1-2 the count. He takes in the dirt. Chu, very patient hitter. Very discerning eye, and you start talking about guys who swing at the lowest percentage of pitches that are outside of the zone. Joey Votto is right now the class of baseball in that regard, but Chu right up there among the top 20 or so in baseball. 2-2. Did he go? No, he did not. Again, Estabrook won't pull the trigger, so full count on Chu. Rangers got 2 in the first, 3 in the second inning. Chu strikes out looking, and that's the first 1-2-3 half inning today for either team. With 3 innings in the books, the Orioles lead it by a run. Fourth inning. Now our Kubota power stats today. You see Matt Moore coming into pitch in this 4th inning. Well, the Rangers bullpen against Baltimore this year, an ERA under 2, 3 saves, and a great balance of strikeouts to walks. So they have been really good, and Matt Moore hoping to continue that trend here this afternoon. Jose Leclerc, who's done a nice job in that regard at the save yesterday. So Matt comes in here to face the 9th place hitter, Austin Wynns. And then he'll get the top of the order after that. Matt, of course, started the year in the Rangers rotation, but has transitioned to the bullpen. And especially with the roster move today, with Austin Bivens-Dirks being sent out to create the room for Drew Hutchison, that means that Matt Moore definitely the go-to long man out of the bullpen.
The Rangers need a little bit of length from him today, and Matt needs a little bit of success today. He's given up 9 hits and 8 runs in his last 4 1/3 in his last 4 games. The Rangers could use about 3 or 4 innings of shutout ball right here. No, the offense is going to respond sooner or later again. Got shut down in the 3rd inning, but the way the ball is finding holes today, there's going to be a lot more runs scored in this game. Hopefully it's all by the Rangers.
Moore's 1-2, and Wynns takes up and away to even the count. Wynns had that 3-run homer, a bit of a shocker, and not a big home run hitter. And he chases strike 3 here. Chirinos will have to throw it on down to first, but the strikeout starts things in the 4th inning.
Oh boy, Matt, good start.
Left fielder Jace Peterson.
Let's take a look at the replay from that strikeout. Off-speed pitch down. Got Wins to swing at it. Wins did a 3-run homer in the second inning. Came up a little short on that off-speed pitch.
So now Jace Peterson, who is 1 for 2. Peterson, the average very low, as you can see there, but the on base was 330 coming in, so that's pretty healthy, enough to get him into that leadoff spot today. Six runs, 6 hits for Baltimore, 5 runs on 5 hits for the Rangers, but still very early. And that's inside. Moore, acquired by the Rangers in the offseason. Now 29 years old. It was a 3-player trade with San Francisco, and last year with the Giants was the first time he had ever been used in relief. 1 game. He made 31 starts with the Giants, and then 1 time they used him in relief, and now this year this is his 11th relief appearance for the Rangers. Full count now on Peterson. Had a tough year last year with the Giants. Moore was acquired by San Francisco the previous season in 2016 from Tampa Bay. And thought to maybe help the Giants make a push at the end of that 2016 season. But he only pitched so-so with the Giants, both at the end of 2016 and then really had a down year last year with San Francisco. Some hope that maybe coming back to the American League and maybe some adjustments the Rangers would make could make a big difference for him. 3-2 pitch down the left field line, foul again. And certainly a time when Moore had that fastball in the upper 90s, around 97 when he came up with Tampa, and free and easy from that left side, but it's become harder and harder for him.
Well, the Rangers saw that when he first got called up to Tampa Bay. Saw that in the playoffs. Pitched a really nice game against the Rangers with that superb stuff. Long at bat, a lot of foul balls, but the end result is pretty good. A weak tapper to second base.
So Peterson out. 2 away. Now looking ahead, Diamondbacks and Rangers Monday, August 13th, and then Tuesday the 14th. Just a 2-gamer. Great seats still available for a little interleague play with the Diamondbacks. Go to TexasRangers.com. Come out and see us. Diamondbacks still very much in the mix in the National League West. Now Tim Beckham, a sacrifice bunt and then a ground out to third. And he's in a hole 0-2. Well, Moore trying to answer Tanner Scott. A couple of guys coming in out of the bullpen trying to put together scoreless half innings. Scott did it with a 1-2-3 bottom of the third. And this one fouled over to the right side. Keeps the at bat going for Beckham. Going to play Beckham straight up on the infield, and he takes just outside. Yeah, that's notable these days, a conventional looking defensive alignment. 2-2. Although the Rangers, they tend to play more hitters in that straight up alignment than a lot of teams do. Rangers are not as aggressive with the shifts. Bouncer at third base. Profar right there. Routine play for him, and it is a 1-2-3 for Matt Moore. So nicely done. Now we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Rougned Odor will lead things off for the Rangers. One of the hottest hitters in the game. Let's see if he can get the Rangers offense reignite. Start things off. And look at his ranks among Major League second basemen. 354 on base now is fourth best among all second basemen. The OPS sky high, slugging, even the batting average at 274.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago where the on-base percentage was in the 290s. And I can remember a number of times this year after the really slow start. And for Rugi, let's say it's the first 25 games or so. Since that time, I can remember maybe the next 15, 20, 25 games saying, starting to see little signs. Hit a ball to left field, work a walk in a certain at bat. Hasn't been dramatic. It's kind of a steady, methodical step in the right direction. And then a few weeks ago, all of a sudden, it all came together at the same time and everything blossomed. And it wasn't just slow but sure, steady. It was almost dramatic, and it happened overnight, where he not only regained the form that he had a couple of years ago when he had such a big year, solid average, all the home runs, he's upped it. And it's not just a week or 10 days, it's a longer period than that. Since the All-Star break, OPS of 1365. So to be where he is right now after the start that he had, pretty nice to see. You know, through his first 23 games, he had 6 walks and 1 home run. That gives you an idea of what he's done since then, and more than double the games, but still 58 games, 12 home runs and 22 walks after 1 home run and 6 walks the first month of the season.
Scott's 2-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. So he strikes out Odor, and Tanner Scott has come on and retired all 5 hitters he has faced so far. Well, let's take a moment now to hear from the folks over at Kia.
When you're America's best value, you don't need some over-the-top celebration.
1 out, and here is Elvis Andrus. Tripled back in the first, also grounded out in the second inning. And he takes strike 1 from Tanner Scott.
We've seen Tanner Scott, Dave, a number of times in Baltimore and now here in Texas. Always remark what a good arm he has. He's got a pretty high ERA, over 6. A few too many walks, maybe a couple of home runs extra, but at the same time, like what the Orioles have to work with a young left-hander like this. I said that before too.
Now, he came in to get the final out of that second inning. When Jeffrey Ramirez, I mean, it just looked like he couldn't get anybody out today. And Scott has come in and not allowed anyone to reach. In fact, has 3 strikeouts among the 5 outs that he has amassed so far. Now, that said, it's not real clear that he'll be in a whole lot longer. The longest outing he's had this year is 2 innings, which when he retires the next Rangers hitter, that will give him 2 innings of work today. And in terms of pitch count, only been a handful of outings in which he has thrown more than the 25 he has tossed already today. Bouncer toward shortstop. That one took a high hop for Beckham. Throws out Andrus, 2 away.
Let's take a look at our Southwest player breakdown and check out Jurickson Profar's defense today. Early in the game, he makes a nice barehanded play on a bunt. A soft little bouncer charging off-balance throw with something on it, and then a smash. Quick reflexes, one step and a lunge makes the play. Strong throw across the diamond. And we're only in the 4th inning, but already Jurickson has made three nice plays defensively.
He's also walked both times he has come to the plate, scored a run. Profar batting cleanup today.
Two pitchers we're likely to see from the Orioles today are Cody Carroll and Evan Phillips, two of their new acquisitions they've acquired in trades. They both pitched a couple of days ago and looked really good. They pitched together 3 shutout innings. And they're getting a good look the last 2 months of the year. See how they fit into the Orioles based on the way they threw the other night. Looks like they're going to fit in pretty nicely. If this game stays close, pretty good chance we'll see both of them.
Jurickson lays off that high fastball. 1-2 the count. So Tanner Scott already pushed past his previous threshold in terms of outs acquired in a game. 1-2 pitch, and Profar fights it off.
Now Scott's fastball mid-90s to upper 90s. The key for him is key for any young pitcher with a great arm. Command of his fastball and the quality of his breaking pitches. A little bit better today than we've seen in several of the outings he's come in and faced the Rangers.
Hits this ball well down the left field line. Will it stay fair? Foul. Profar just missed. Good hustle play in the stands. 2 out, the 1-2 pitch. Profar hits this one up the middle. That's a base hit. And he is on here in the 4th inning.
Jurickson just steadily has good solid at bats. He's not going to walk 90 times, but he's not going to walk 25 times either. It'll be somewhere in between 40, 50, 55 walks. Sees a lot of pitches. So he's making pretty good contact. Switch hitter. Big leg kick. Sure have to like the progress he's made this year. And it's all boiled down. The difference for him this year, just getting a chance to play every day. When Elvis got hurt, he took advantage of that opportunity. Played so well that he's playing pretty much every day now. Maybe not at the same position, but he's in there every day. And if he can stay in there and continue to do what he's doing at the end of the season, it's going to be a nice season. He'll hit 15 home runs, might knock in 75 or 80 runs, and show that he's a good, solid big leaguer and more than just a utility player. But it took that opportunity, and he's taken advantage of it.
Oh, 2 to Gallo. Gallo has already driven in a run today. He's also walked. Rangers trail by a run, and he takes low. 1-2.
Take a look at an interesting factoid for Joey Gallo. What he's done the last 2 seasons in the first half compared to the second half. Compare the on-base percentage if you want to look at one thing. 361 to 303 in the second half. His average is up.
Well, runner goes. Late throw down to second, and Profar with his 9th stolen base of the year. A little delay steal on Tanner Scott.
Yeah, I think that one of the best compliments you can give Jurickson is he's a ball player. Doesn't matter where he plays. He wants to play every day. He grew up that way. Knows how to run the bases. Knows how to play any different position. A little bit of a delayed steal. Caught the Orioles by surprise. Steals another base. Hasn't been thrown out. Just you never look at him and say he's raw. He's got to learn the game. He came into it as a 21-year-old knowing the game and knowing how to play.
Gallo strikes out for the first time today. The Rangers leave a man at second base. We've played 4 innings. The Orioles lead by 1. Remind you to drink responsibly. Well, it's a 6-5 ball game, and MLB.TV is now available at a lower price. Watch every out-of-market regular season game. Plus, you get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Visit MLB.TV for details. All right, so here we go now in the 5th. 3, 4, and 5 hitters are due. VR, Trumbo, and Danny Valencia. And Matt Moore, who came in last inning, dialed up a 1-2-3. Goes back to work again. Oh, 2. VR, meanwhile, he has walked, he has singled, he has scored a run. Orioles got a run in the first, 3 runs in the second inning, 2 runs in the third. Last inning failed to score for the first time this afternoon, and VR just does stay alive. VR has been a well-traveled player in his career. He has spent a handful of seasons with a couple of different clubs, including the Houston Astros and the Milwaukee Brewers, and now hoping to stick for a while in Baltimore.
Feels like one of those games where the Orioles have fouled off more pitches than normal. I wish I could quantify that and say the average amount of balls fouled off per team in a big league season is 17, and today the Orioles have already had 21. But I'm not able to do that. It's just an observation. It feels like it. May or may not even be true. But there are some games where a team, for whatever reason, just fouls off so many pitches they wear out a starting pitcher. Feels like he's making a lot of good pitches and the hitters are taking defensive swings but hanging in there with foul balls.
Well, this ball hit well out to left field. Calhoun going back, looks up, and that one is gone. So VR has homered. Came on a 1-2 pitch, and it gives the Orioles a 2-run lead.
I think that's the second ball that a fan out there in a Red Ranger t-shirt has missed today. Might be wrong on that, but I think he missed Trumbo's back in the 3rd inning. This one was hit pretty hard by VR. You can see the fan out there in left field. VR gets a fastball middle of the plate, a little bit on the inside half of the plate. Didn't foul that one off. Got a good piece of that one left field. Let's check it out. See the guy in the step up, goes off his right hand, makes a futile dive, face first into the seats, came up empty.
Not as easy as it looks.
Hopefully you have a couple more chances on balls that the Rangers hit.
7-5. As Trumbo, who is homered tonight, or today rather, chases that one 1-1. So I mentioned earlier, Baltimore will continue a road trip as they head to Tampa. They'll enjoy a day off tomorrow. Rangers will stay home, and Seattle comes calling tomorrow. Trumbo golfs this one high in the air out to left. Coming over from center field is Robinson. Makes that catch in normal left field.
Trumbo had a good swing at that one. He got underneath it. He's had a single, an RBI, a home run, 2 RBIs. And fortunately got underneath that one and popped it up to center field. Looks like Trumbo might be heating up. Good time to be seeing the Orioles leave if he is.
Danny Valencia 0 for 2. He is lined out, grounded out.
Backdoor breaking ball. That just missed. 1-1 the count. Ground ball, third base. Profar's been busy. Plenty of time. 2 away.
At times this year, Jurickson has had a little bit of a problem with his throwing accuracy. But from third base today, he's been fine. He's had a number of plays to make. Sometimes as an infielder, the less time you have to make a play, the more accurate you are when you don't have time to catch it and think about it. That time, he had plenty of time to think about it and still made a solid, accurate throw across the diamond. Never having had the chance to do it, I would imagine it's not the easiest thing in the world to switch from second to short to third. Every throw has a different angle, different distance that you have to throw it accurately. He would never say that, but it has to have a little bit to do with the accuracy of your throws.
Yeah, you hear infielders talk about the action of the ball off the bat from one side of the infield to the other. I mean, it can be an adjustment for guys. At this point, he's playing so frequently on both sides of the infield. I guess he's just sort of ready for everything.
Yep.
I wonder, as you start to think in advance of how things could play out, and if you're going to use a guy in a super utility role like that, how important it would be for a manager to make sure that you're getting a guy looks on both sides of the infield with some regularity. Once you lofts this one out to right field. Chu takes care of it easily, and the inning is done. But a home run by VR adds to the Orioles' lead. It's 7-5 as we head to the last of the fifth. And Fox Sports Southwest, the Texas Rangers are going outside the box this summer. And next up, outside the box, is focused on the Rangers' efforts in giving back to the community. That'll be Tuesday night. Join us for a special broadcast. 6:30 for the pregame, 7:05 first pitch right here on Fox Sports Southwest. And that should be fun. And then, of course, Behind the Lens on August 14th will definitely give you a different look at the game and the broadcast. Donnie Hart coming on here in the 5th inning for Baltimore. Hart, third pitcher of the day, relieves Tanner Scott, who did a really nice job. Scott went 2 1/3, allowed just 1 hit, struck out 4. And now Hart was right after Chirinos with strike 1. Robbie had the 2-run single in the 1st inning, walked in the 2nd inning. Rangers hoping to sort of spark that offense again. Went a little quiet at the end of that 2nd inning, and since then 1-1 the count. We saw Hart Friday night pitch 2/3 of an inning in a ball game the Rangers won 11-3, and we also saw him in the blowout on Thursday. That one way inside, 2-1. He went an inning and a third on Thursday night.
Yeah, you can tell by the delivery that the opportunity for him to be very successful against left-handers is there. Steps way over toward first base, comes from that sidearm angle. So the angle that the left-hand hitter has to face him is kind of tough. Right-handers a little different story though. They're 11 for 25, which is a .440 average against him. And after Robinson hits, there's 5 straight left-handed hitters, which is probably why he's in there right now. So maybe he'll make a mistake to Robinson and he'll put a charge in one before the left-handed hitters get a chance to hit.
Well, Hart ready again. It's 2-2. And that's off the outside. So full count to Chirinos, who we mentioned earlier, swinging a good bat. A couple of smallish lefties that Showalter is trotted out here in relief of Jeffrey Ramirez. Tanner Scott, and now Hart, 5'10", 170 pounds. And a swing and a miss, a breaking ball, and he gets Chirinos to start this 5th inning, 1-1. Guzman coming up now, and let's check in with Emily Jones.
Yeah, we talked about Willie Calhoun being more comfortable, in his environment. The same can be said for Ronald Guzman. He said he's just relaxed so much because of the way not only his, fellow rookies have treated him, but also especially the veterans. And he said the moment he was able to really relax, is when Adrian Beltre asked him to dance. We all saw it in Houston. Guzzi put on his dance moves for us, and I guess Adrian's a fan, and he said that's when I knew I could relax, when AB asked me to dance.
Tell you what, that was impressive too.
That was.
He's got some moves.
That sent Orbit right to the turf when he danced in Houston.
0-2 on Guzman. Ronald hitless today, struck out his first 2 times up. And Hart not wasting much time. Swings that one a little low. Donnie Hart played at Texas State, former Bobcat. And that was the 27th round pick by the Orioles in 2013. And this is his 3rd season in the big leagues with Baltimore. One, two. Good job to hold off on that one.
Here's what we're talking about. Watch where he steps over toward first base, comes sidearm, feels to a left-hand hitter like he's almost coming from behind you. Opposite is true for a right-hander. You see him pretty well all the way. And this really gives a good idea what he's seeing. See him come from way over there, and the ball kind of crossfires over to the other side of the plate. One that's hard is that sweeping breaking ball that starts even farther toward first base.
Oh, there's ball 4. Good at bat for Guzman. Saw some tough pitches. Patiently waited them out. Takes the walk. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in again with Leslie McCaslin.
Yeah, Trevor Story has been I think a star waiting to happen. He would have been if he didn't get hurt a couple of years ago, but as Leslie just said, with his average going up, he's going to hit 30 or more home runs this year and knock in 100 runs as a shortstop, and that'll pretty much stamp him as a star in the National League, or any league for that matter. Well, a local kid doing a great job. Down the road, there might be another local kid playing shortstop in the big leagues. Bobby Witt's son.
Oh boy.
Bobby Jr. Looks like a tremendous prospect for next year. Watched him a little bit in the home run derby that he competed against. Can't remember the name of the kid he was up against, but both of them looked like, they didn't look like 17-year-olds. They looked like big leaguers the way they were hitting the ball. That was one of the more impressive exhibitions of power hitting by 2 17-year-olds as I think you'll ever see.
And of course, it's really early, but a lot of folks talking about Bobby Witt Jr. is the potential #1 pick.
Yeah, and a lot of things can happen between now and then. College pitchers can pop up, other players can pop up, but I think it's pretty safe to say, Dave, that he's regarded as a certain high pick in the draft next year. Rangers drafted his dad, I believe, as the 5th pick in the draft out of the University of Oklahoma. He was on the Olympic team. Remember the year before that draft.
Well, broken bat roller to first. And the throw to second. They force out Guzman. Mancini, good job to stay with that one.
That was definitely a little bit of a problem for Mancini, because out of the corner of his eye, he can see the end of the bat coming his way. And it almost looked like he was a little bit reluctant to reach out for the ball because he wasn't sure what the bat was going to do. You get a good look at it right here. You can see the bat coming right at him. And somehow he was able to reach, catch the ball, and the bat missed him, and he got the force out at second base. Pretty good concentration on that play. But the year before that draft, when the Rangers took Bobby, in Tri-Cities, Washington, was our one of our rookie league teams, and the Olympic team played them in an exhibition game. Bobby pitched in that game, and I can remember being right behind home plate and watching him. He was probably throwing 97 or 98 miles an hour with a wipeout slider. Sandy Johnson, our scouting director, if he wasn't there that day, had certainly seen a lot of him. And I think what you said at that time was, if you're in the market for a college pitcher who's not that far away from the big leagues, you just saw him. And the Rangers picked Bobby, and he wasn't that far away from the big leagues, and he went on to have an excellent major league career. Bobby was one of those kids that you never had to worry about him taking the ball or staying in a game. You had to fight him almost every time he came out of a game. He might throw 114 pitches in 5 innings and be reluctant to give the ball up, argue with a manager on the mound. He'd stay in there for 200 pitches a game if you let him.
Well, Donnie Hart takes care of the Rangers in the 5th inning. So now the 6th inning will be next. It's a 2-run game.
Kluber, who pitched a gem last night against the Angels. 3-hit shutout, less than 100 pitches, and all you have to do is watch 6 or 7 pitches and see what the pitcher has to contend with. Great slider, great sinker, tremendous command, and there aren't many pitchers who have better composure on the mound than Corey Kluber, as calm as they come. He's already won a couple of Cy Young awards. If he keeps throwing like that, he'll be in the running for another one this year. Been a couple of gems pitched in the last few days. Rick Porcello pitched a 9-inning complete game, gave up 1 run, a home run, retired the last 21 batters and threw 86 pitches. Yesterday, Kluber a shutout and only threw 98 pitches. Fun watching pitchers like that. Great pitchers, great stuff, excellent command, on the top of their game, mowing great big league hitters down one right after the other. No one does it better than Corey Kluber.
Well, these days that is certainly the case. So that's a Maddox, we like to call it, a complete game shutout in less than 100 pitches, and he has 2 of those in his career. This one lined over third, and that's a base hit for Renato Nunez. In fact, he's going to go for 2. The throw will be in time. The tag got him.
What a tag. Willie Calhoun got to it as quickly as he could and threw it as hard as he could. Landed it near the bag in the air to Rugi, who wheels around and slaps a tag on just in time. There's Willie cutting the ball off, launching a long throw. Rugi catches it on the first base side, jumps back, slaps the tag down on the right knee, and gets him before the foot touches the bag. Nice play by Willie, getting it there, and a superb play by Rugi to catch it, wheel around, and make the tag.
I thought the throw was going to take him just too far away from the play.
Me too.
Really good job. Like a good post player. Set himself up well for that drop step and tag in one motion. That was awesome.
Very nice.
Meanwhile now, Joey Rickard, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. So 1 out here in the 6th inning. It's a 2-run game. And 1 and 2 the count. So Moore trying to give the Rangers a 3rd inning in relief here. Pitched a scoreless 4th inning. And even though he went 1, 2, 3 through the Orioles in that 4th inning, he used 20 pitches.
Last inning gave up the solo home run to VR. Stays 1-2 on Rickard. But that would be a big pick-me-up if Moore could be effective here through, let's say, 3 innings. After the Hutchison start went 3 innings, he allowed 6 runs on 6 hits. There's a swing and a miss, and Rickard strikes out for the 2nd out of the inning.
Good curveball. Big curveball. Probably looked to Rickard like it was going to be a strike. But then it just goes straight down out of the strike zone, results in a strikeout. Good pitch right there for Matt. No walks and a couple of strikeouts now in his 3rd inning of work.
And he gets Austin Wynns, who really has the biggest hit of the game so far, the 3-run homer in the 2nd inning. Wynns from Southern California, just 27 years old. This is his first taste of the big leagues this year. Had 2 balls and no strikes. Originally a 10th round pick by the Orioles in 2013. When you look back at his minor league numbers, he really never had a big power season until last year. Hit 10 home runs in 105 games. Prior to that, had 10 home runs in his first 4 seasons in the minors. Moore's 3-0, and that one is down the middle. High pop up, left side of the infield, and Profar racing in. The wind blowing hard too, but able to stay with it, make the catch, and the inning is done. We've played 5.5 so far this afternoon. Rangers trail by 2. Ahead to the next series tomorrow night. The Seattle Mariners in town for the opening game of a 3-game series. Wade LeBlanc will have the ball for the Mariners. Pitched pretty well so far this year in his first 17 starts. Martin Perez, who was scheduled to go today, well, he'll have to start for the Rangers. We'll join us. Game coverage beginning at 6:30 tomorrow on Fox Sports Southwest. Chu leading things off in the 6th inning. Rangers looking to get going offensively again. They got off to a good start with 2 runs in the first, 3 runs in the 2nd inning, but have been quieted since by a couple of left-handed relievers. And Chu sends this one to the left side of the infield on a harmless ground out to 3rd is how we begin the bottom of the 6th. But when Rougned Odor comes to the plate, it sometimes can mean instant offense. Look at this, since May 24th, getting on base at a .394 clip, big slugging numbers, high average, the home runs. It has been spectacular. Today has a double. You have scored a run. I would definitely play him to pull on the infield. That somewhat standard shift that guys like Odor and Gallo seem to see. And 3 infielders looking for a hard ground ball over there, and poor Renato Nunez all by his lonesome on the left side. Oh, 2 the count. When you think about guys who see a shift pretty frequently, yeah, Rugi nearly 80% of the time. That's 14th highest in baseball, but 2nd highest there is Joey Gallo, 92% of the time. This one fouled back out of play, stays 0-2. Well, Rugi is homered in the first 3 games. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday here against Baltimore. But both he and Joey have been kept inside the yard so far today. And he swings and misses at strike 3. So 2 gone in the 6th.
Yeah, nice job, as you mentioned, Dave, by the 2 lefty relievers that have come in. With a left-hand hitting string of hitters done, Buck Showalter's probably going to make a change, but that's 1 walk and 7 strikeouts for the 2 lefties.
So Hart is done. Miguel Castro will be the right-hander coming out of the bullpen for Baltimore when we come back. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Shiner Light Blonde. It's light done right. Two-run game. Rangers batting here in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 out. And Miguel Castro is the new hurler for Baltimore. Right-hander. He deals in the upper part of the strike zone there to Elvis Andrus. The 45th appearance for Castro and a .339 ERA. 0-2. And that heater looking pretty good there, 98. Castro, the 3rd reliever used. Tanner Scott went 2 1/3. Donnie Hart, an inning and 2/3. And that one just misses. Going a little further off the plate and no takers. Elvis tripled back in the 1st inning, 1 for 3. In the air down the right field line, and that one up into the seats. So Elvis keeps battling here. There's still time in this game. Rangers, having taken the first 3 of this series, a chance today to do something they have not done yet this year, and that is win 4 straight games at home, regardless of the opponent. In fact, I think in the month of July, I was just kind of flipping through these things quickly earlier today, but in July at home, the Rangers had 4 hits, or rather, check that, 1 home win. Ground ball, foul, and we'll do it again. There's that win against Cleveland, the final game of that series to open the 2nd half. They spent a lot of the month of July on the road, that Big 10 game trip before the All-Star break.
Well, that was a good fastball, 96 miles an hour, sinking right at the bottom of the strike zone.
Strikeout is how we end the 6th inning. So the Rangers go quietly again. To the 7th we go in a 2-run game. Texas Live, and it opens August 9th. Yeah, that's like 4 days from now. That place will be open. I took a tour, last homestand. Amazing, amazing venue. It is going to be so much fun. So the opening on the 9th, and I just would implore folks, come on out, check it out when you get a chance.
I like driving by it every day. I'm into the parking lot and seeing what's been done, the brickwork that goes up every day. They're working non-stop 7 days a week right now to get it ready. Definitely taking shape.
Meanwhile, here we go to the 7th inning, and it's a 2-run Orioles lead. Top of the order, against Matt Moore, pitching in his 4th inning in relief. So Moore's really done a nice job just to hang in there and gobble up some innings.
Well, that's what we said when he came in. It's a good opportunity for him, and based on a little bit of lack of success his last few times out, kind of an important outing for him to come in, establish himself, being able to come in and get the job done. And he's doing that. Hoped he could go 4 innings and do it well, and he's on his way to 4 innings. Hasn't walked a batter. Gave up the home run to VR, but other than that, very solid. No walks, 3 strikeouts. Fortunately, while he's been doing that, the Rangers have been shut down by the Orioles bullpen, which has come in and looked good.
In-game box scores, Tim Beckham takes ball 1, and Beckham hitless so far. It's VR and Trumbo right behind him, though, have done some of the real damage today, both of them with home runs. Austin Wynns at the bottom of the order there, a big 3-run homer. 1 ball, 1 strike on Beckham. And everything's been to the left side of the infield with him up there this afternoon. Profar has handled everything he has put in play. Couldn't stop himself. Stays 1 and 2. Beckham acquired by the Orioles last year from Tampa Bay. Came up with the Rays in 2013. And was one of the bright young players for them. They were hoping might develop into a player of great importance at shortstop. In the dirt, 2 and 2. But one of the things that hurt him was his defense while with the Rays. He just couldn't seem to come to grips with his ability. He had some problems, like 18 errors last year as an example, and that was as a shortstop. He made 2 errors as a second baseman. Beckham getting a chance to play shortstop all the time now with Manny Machado no longer in an Orioles uniform. And he swings and misses strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts in the 7th for Moore.
Very nice off-speed pitch to Beckham.
Second baseman,
Very nice changeup. Looked a lot like Cole Hamels' changeup right there. Sinking down a little bit out of the strike zone. Good delivery with it. Beckham, as you can see, is way out in front of it, which is the intention of the changeup. Into his 4th inning, no walks, 4 strikeouts right now for Matt. One of his better outings.
First pitch, and this one smashed into right field by VR. He's going to turn and try for 2. Chu had a little trouble coming up with that one cleanly. And so VR with a 2-out double.
Well, VR has been a force in this series.
Now batting right
Probably his
fielder,
8th hit in the
Trumbo.
series, 7th or 8th hit in the series. He had a home run, a double, a single, and a walk in this game. Just kind of waits and inside outs that ball to right field. Guzman a little bit over towards second base. The ball was hit to his left.
I'd say the early returns for the Orioles, they have to be pretty pleased with what they have seen from VR. A 3-hit game today, 8 hits in this series. And Trumbo now takes low for ball. Trumbo with a couple of hits, including a home run. See there at the bottom of the screen, 9 RBIs in the last 8 games. And I thought your point was a good one, Tom. He seems to be heating up. Good time for him to leave town.
Sure is. That's the case with a lot of power hitters. And they get into a good streak. All you have to do is look at Rugi, look at Gallo. When they get into a streak, they just seem to come in rapid succession. We've shown several times in the last couple of days what Rugi and Joey have done since the All-Star break, about a 2-week period. Trumbo is capable of doing the same kind of things for the Orioles that guys in the middle of the Rangers lineup have been doing.
1-2 the count, and this is an important plate appearance or at bat for Matt Moore. Chance to complete the 4 innings. That's one piece of it, but it's a 2-run game right now. Rangers with 3 at bats remaining in this game. They've got a chance, plenty of time, to find a weakness in that Orioles bullpen and come back and win this game. But pretty imperative that Moore keep it a reachable game. Checks VR at second, and the 1-2. And this ball lifted high in the air, deep to left field. Calhoun won't have a play on it. That's a 2-run shot for Trumbo. And just like that, it's a 4-run lead for Baltimore. 9-5 the score.
Yeah, unfortunately, this was a 4-game series and not a 3-game series. The Rangers are catching Trumbo as he's heating up. 2 home runs and an RBI single in this game. Two-run homers and an RBI single in this game. It's a high fastball. He likes the ball up. That pitch is borderline whether it's a strike or not. He can hit the ball up there. He's not a guy that's patient and gets a lot of walks. He swings at a lot of pitches, and a lot of them are out of the strike zone. That might have been one of them. But he likes the ball up there. Not a fluke that he hit it.
More opportunities for our fan out there in left field, but just hasn't worked out yet. Now the first pitch to Valencia for a strike. Hang in there, partner. Still have time. That was a 14th multi-homer game in Trumbo's career. Ball and a strike to Danny Valencia. Hadn't been a good day for him at the plate. 0 for 3. Moore's 1-1. Chopper third base. Back on it, Profar. The turn, the throw. In time. And they get Valencia. Great job by Guzman to keep a toe on the bag. And the inning is done. But Baltimore with a 2-run homer by Trumbo extends their lead. Time for God Bless America. Here's Chuck Morgan.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Will you please rise and direct your attention to the area behind home plate and welcome back Megan Logman. In honor of all the veterans who have served our country and the servicemen and women who are currently stationed at home and around the world, Megan Logman will now perform God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet
Thing I want you to take away from today's game. It's Saturday, August 18th. The first 15,000 fans get a Nomar Mazara bobblehead, courtesy of Coca-Cola and Walmart. Go to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. Come on out, Rangers Angels, get your Nomar Mazara bobblehead. All right, some changes for the Orioles. Joey Rickard moves over from center field to right, which left center field wide open, and Adam Jones stepped right in. Profar leading things off in the 7th, and Castro runs it a little bit in. It's 1-1. Profar, Gallo, Chirinos, Ardu. I guess they feel like Trumbo has done his job today. And enough home runs, he can have the rest of the day off. Upstairs, 2-1 the count. You know, Castro came on last inning. He struck out Andrews to end the inning. Well, he's now fallen behind Profar 3-1.
It was a struggle today for Jeffrey Ramirez. Didn't get through 2 innings. He walked 5, gave up 5 runs. But Tanner Scott, Donnie Hart, and so far Miguel Castro have been very tough. Well, maybe there's a start with a leadoff walk. They've walked 1 and struck out 8 in 4+ innings, 4 1/3.
That might be the break that they needed. Now a Wells Fargo look ahead. We've mentioned that Seattle coming to town beginning tomorrow night. Matchup of some big sluggers, guys like Joey Gallo and Nelson Cruz. Since the All-Star break, pretty much neck and neck. Gallo has had a slightly better run, but Cruz certainly has heated up a little bit himself. Gallo could tie the game if he gets up a second time this inning. Here he can get them within 2. Heck, he could give him the lead if he got up again this inning. Profar with a lean over there at first, but not running, and the pitch in the dirt. 1-1.
Castro's. Go ahead, Dave.
No, go ahead.
Castro's pitched a lot of innings, 65 innings, 64 innings. He's walked 39 batters, 40 now, so his command has not been great. Has a nice arm, though. Keeps the ball in the ballpark. He's only given up 4 home runs, but a few too many walks.
Well, he faced the right-hander Andrews. The switch hitter Profar's flopped him over to the left side of the plate. And now the first true left-handed hitter in Joey Gallo. It's 2-2. That one low and in. So he's trying to get him to chase one low and in, but Gallo not taking the bait. And Joey right now has been a much more patient hitter. The splits for Castro, while left-handed hitters are better against him, they're not dramatically so. The power is better for left-handed hitters than it is for righties. 3-2, and that one popped foul out of play.
Good velocity, 96 miles an hour, and a great swing. When Joey gets in that kind of groove, you almost expect him to hit a home run every time he swings at a good pitch.
I sort of feel like he'll hit one here. He comes up empty. So a strikeout is the first out of the inning. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's say hi again to Leslie McCaslin. Yeah, Philly's playing a little bit better baseball right now. That's 5 in a row for Philadelphia. Chirinos now takes one outside for a ball. So we talked earlier about how the Nationals seem to be turning things around a little bit, starting to heat up and climb back in that race in the National League East. But the Phillies have answered with a nice little run of their own, and they have been brilliant at home. Phillies the best home team in the National League, and second really only to Boston and New York in the American League. So they have made good use of Citizens Bank Park. What an amazing run it has been for the Phillies here in 2018. Had a schedule, as we say, on some of these rebuilds.
Gabe Kapler putting himself in position to be considered for Manager of the Year honors in the National League. He's had an interesting career. He was a player, obviously. Remember, he had a couple of home runs on opening day one year for the Rangers. He's been in broadcasting. He's been an executive. He's been a minor league manager. Done a little bit of everything, really. Got a chance to be a manager. So far, the results have been pretty good after 4 months. A little shaky start for him, though, in April. He made a couple of, I won't say managerial blunders, because you don't know exactly who made the mistakes. Not getting a pitcher warmed up, bringing in the wrong pitcher. Is that what it was?
Yep.
And that easily could have been the pitching coach and not him, but managers accept the responsibility for those things. And all Gabe did was say, look, I've got things to learn. We all have things to learn. We'll look at all our decision making. We'll analyze it. We'll get better. It looks like that's been exactly what's happened this year for the Phillies. No one's talking about those things now.
Reno swings and misses, strike three. Boy, he was going after it there. 2 down in the 7th inning.
Really good arm for Miguel Castro. You can see the velocity, the two-seam fastball, how it tails in and sinks just a little bit on Robinson. It's a 3rd strikeout. Every out recorded by Castro has been a strikeout. Also has the walk of Profar.
Guzman.
10 strikeouts for the Oriole bullpen.
Yeah, Penn's been really sharp on an afternoon where Jeffrey Ramirez had a hard time getting anybody out. And Buck Showalter pulled the parachute on him in the 2nd inning. It was like, all right, you know, guess I'll give it to my Penn, see if they can handle it. They have handled it quite well. In fact, Penn has not allowed a Ranger to get as far as 3rd base yet, since 2 out in the 2nd inning. No balls, 2 strikes on Guzman. Oh, 2. And he swings and misses. So Castro strikes out the side in the 7th. Well, let's go to the 8th inning. It's 9-5 Baltimore.
It's kind of a fly ball for him. Next one was a fly ball, but it went even farther. The unfortunate part of that was that pitch was well executed by Matt Moore. They're trying to get him to swing at a high fastball out of the strike zone. Unfortunately, he did, and he hit it out of the ballpark. Just goes to show you, you can have a good plan, but there's no guarantee. It might give you the best percentage chance, but hitters like Trumbo are streak hitters, and when they get hot, it doesn't always mean that they can't hit the pitch you're trying to throw and hit it hard, and that's what Trumbo did today. Twice. He also had an RBI single. He's knocked in 5 runs.
Well, here is Jeffrey Springs. Made his big league debut in Arizona on Tuesday and threw the ball pretty well. 1st inning, you could tell he was pretty amped up, but really dialed it in the 2nd inning. In fact, retired the final 4 batters he faced. He got 3 strikeouts. Called up prior to the game on Tuesday from AAA Round Rock. I really had to scramble to make it down to Phoenix and join us. Got there just in the nick of time. Anyway, he's on here with the 8th inning. He gets Trey Mancini, Renato Nunez, and then Joey Rickard. And a bouncing ball 3rd base. Profar, well practiced today down there, and turns in another one. 1 away.
That 2nd play he's made off to his left like that, waiting for the hop. I think he had one against Valencia to end the 7th inning, as a matter of fact. It's all about trying to play the hop so that you can field it cleanly, yet still know that you have plenty of arm strength to make the play across the diamond. A lot depends on who the runner is. But a good day defensively over at third base for Jurickson. Good day offensively too. He's had a single and he's walked 3 times.
One out to Nunez, taken for a strike. Out of Nunez today, a couple of hits and 3 tries. It was fun to see Springs get that big league moment earlier in the week, and then talk to him a little bit later. We didn't get a chance to meet him before the ball game, as he got to the airport right around 5 o'clock for a 6:40 game. Scrambled to make it over to the ballpark. He said he was in the airport running to catch his flight, and he was going through or just got through security about 15-20 minutes before the flight was scheduled to take off. Fortunately, it was delayed a few minutes, and he got on. Will pop up on first base, and Guzman is there. 2 away. And for me, Tom, as a person who has had to travel a little bit in my life, those days where you're running through a concourse to get to a flight, you get on, you're sweating, everybody else kind of waiting on you. I won't say it ruins the whole day, but it definitely throws my day a little bit askew.
It ruins the whole day if you don't get there in time.
It sure does. High fly ball out to right field, and Chu tucks it away. A 1-2-3 for Jeffrey Springs. Springs said, hey, I'll do that every day if I can pitch in the big leagues. No big deal. We go to the bottom of the 8th, down by 4.
Back to Globe Life Park in Arlington. We've been talking a lot lately about the young guys and their development. One guy who has been particularly pleased with the progress is veteran Elvis Andrus. He talked today about just how much this group has matured, just how much they've progressed, and got a little, I guess, nostalgic and couldn't believe that he wasn't considered one of the young guys anymore. Kind of hurt his feelings a little bit.
No, I think that ship has sailed. He's young to us. He's young to most of the world, but he's more of a veteran on this team. It's kind of funny, though. I mean, I guess that realization comes at some point, right? That, well, I'm not the kid anymore.
Yeah.
Well, here is Paul Fry, the final left-hander available out of that bullpen for the Orioles, and that bullpen has struck out 11 Rangers so far this afternoon, and Fry making his 16th appearance. Rangers loaded the lineup with left-handed hitters, including Willie Calhoun. And so Showalter has countered today by using all his lefties out of the pen. This one lofted out to left field, but Peterson with some space to get to it. 1 away.
Center fielder Drew Robinson.
Well, in almost 6 innings, the Oriole bullpen has only given up 1 hit. No runs, couple of walks.
Yeah, they've been very good. Castro certainly looked quite sharp. The 4 strikeouts and a walk in his inning and 1/3. So Robinson, another left-handed hitter. 1 for 3, had the double back in the second. Balls, no strikes. Oh, good breaking ball. 2-1. Or should the Rangers find themselves maybe building something in one of these innings, especially against Fry? They do have some right-handed bats available on the bench, guys like Adrian Beltre, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. 2-2 the count.
fairly relaxed. Again with the hoodies. 97 degrees. Everybody with these hoodies. 2-2. And there's ball 4. So a base runner in this 8th inning. Well, we're lighting up the night skies once again. Post-game fireworks shows on Friday nights, and fans can get $16 Upper Reserve tickets for Friday home games, courtesy of Fox Sports Southwest and T-Mobile. Go to TexasRangers.com and use the coupon code FSSW Fireworks. All right, so a man on for Shin-Soo Choo, and you see what his numbers look like since May 13th, and that's a long stretch of 66 games. And awfully productive, and a sac fly earlier today. The OPS, 969. Mixed in the middle of all that was his 52-game on-base streak. 1-1. A couple of home runs in the last 4 games for Choo. A double in there as well. Maybe some signs that the power surge coming back again. 2-1. They seem to come in bunches for Choo. Upstairs, that one in and out of the glove of Austin Wins, but 3-1 the count. Didn't get far enough away. Robinson doesn't want to risk making it out on the bases. Down by 4.
All right, Choo ahead in the count here, 3-1. Rangers have been having a little bit of a difficult time offensively, but good hitters count for Choo. Rangers need 4 runs, though. They don't really need a home run. They need some base runners late in the game. Take a home run, though.
They'll take a walk as well. Yeah, back-to-back walks. And those 2 walks now precede the part of the order where things get very interesting for the Rangers. Here comes Rougned Odor.
Fry had only walked 3 batters in 15 innings coming into this game. Well, Buck Showalter has to be a little bit surprised at his lack of command here with a 4-run lead. And deep down inside, probably not too thrilled about it.
So the couple of men on. Here is the dangerous Rougned Odor. Lefty on lefty. And that one gets away. All the way to the backstop. Robinson goes to third. Choo to second on the wild pitch.
Let's see, the catcher Wins come up on that ball, expecting it to hop up a little bit, and it went right underneath his glove. He was in position to block it, just didn't have his glove down far enough. Takes away the double play, gives the Rangers a chance to get a couple of runs closer with a base hit.
Roger McDowell out there to have a conversation with Fry. Fry, already the fourth pitcher used out of the bullpen. Michael Givens getting ready out there in case he's needed. And he may well be needed. Rangers trying to fashion a comeback victory this afternoon. Odor pulls this one to the right side. Mancini will go to the bag himself. That's the second out of the inning, but give Odor an RBI. 9-6 the score. Robinson able to come in on the play. And here comes Buck Showalter. So that will do it for Fry. And with the right-hander coming up, Orioles go deeper into that pin still. Eighth inning with a man aboard, 2 away. And we take a look at our upcoming schedule. Mariners in for 3, and those are huge games for Seattle. Monday through Wednesday, an afternoon game. Then it's just a one-city trip off to New York for a long weekend in the Bronx before coming home for another homestand. Diamondbacks, Angels in town. Michael Givens making his 50th appearance for Baltimore in a big spot here in the 8th. First pitch to Elvis Andrus, way inside, ball 1.
Yeah, Gibbons has a good arm. Kind of has a sidearm type delivery, but he can rush it up there into the mid-90s.
Andrus lifts this one high in the air out to right field. Rickard waiting. And that will do it. The Rangers will have to settle for 1 run. They leave a man. The 9th inning coming up. It's a 9-6 ball game.
Light, refreshing finish. And for that refreshing finish, we're going to highlight Jonathan Villar, who's had a nice game today. He walked, he singled, he homered, and he doubled. And today he scored 3 runs. Here's a look at the double. He went 0 for yesterday. The Rangers shut Villar down yesterday, but in the first 2 games, he had 5 hits. So in the 4-game series, newly acquired Jonathan Villar, who just got here for this series, ended up with 8 hits. They traded Jonathan Scope, but it looks like the guy they got in return, among others, is doing a pretty good job to fill that void with 8 hits in his first 4 games as an Oriole.
Ground ball into the hole and through into left field. That's a base hit for Austin Wynns. Lead man on here for Baltimore in the 9th inning.
A fastball, and there's the swing. Close up by Austin Wynns. Caleb Joseph is the regular catcher. He played the first 3 games of the series. Austin Wynns gets the start today and makes the most out of it with a 3-run homer.
Yeah, 2 for 4 afternoon for him, so nicely done. And now to the top of the order, Jace Peterson. We've said all along this series that this is a Baltimore team that was one of the best offensively since the All-Star break. And they put pressure on teams. Ground ball, second base. Odor to second one. Andrews to first. 2, double play. 4-6-3 twin killing, and just like that, that lead man erased.
Take a look at the replay. This is what a routine double play looks like. Rugi to Elvis, and calmly back to Ronald Guzman to turn that double play. Leadoff single is erased. Jeffrey Springs has only thrown 12 pitches to get 5 outs in this game.
First pitch swing, Beckham sends this one foul.
Oh, what
with a
play.
glove. Nice play, stays with it.
You can't make that play without a glove.
That's catcher's mitt too. He's tough.
Man.
So that fall didn't bother him any.
You can't make the kids with you proud if you don't bring a glove. Without a glove, that ball goes off your hand. You got a sore hand, and the kids are saying, why didn't you bring a glove? Now they've got a ball.
Come on, give him a fist. There you go.
Can I have the ball? Nope, can't. I caught that ball. Oh, he does have it. Sorry. Nice play.
That is a good day for those guys down there. 1-1.
Yep, and a long game in the sun. They're staying till the bitter end, too. He's waiting for one.
Hang in there, partner.
He doesn't have one yet, but that's loyalty right there.
He's had opportunities.
He's seen 3 or 4 fly in that direction. Most of the people around him have missed him and left. He's hanging in there. Got the feeling.
Now 2 out here in the 9th inning. Beckham 0 for 3 today. And Jeffrey Springs trying to author another scoreless inning. Fly ball, foul, out of play. There we go. We don't need a glove for those caroms. Springs trying to keep it a 3-run game. And a swing and a miss. He strikes out Beckham. And that's a great way to finish the top of the 9th inning. So now the Rangers, last chance coming. Profar will lead things off. Joey Gallo due second. And then Robinson Chirinos down by 3.
As we welcome you back, down but not out. Well, coming up on our post-game edition of Rangers Live, presented by Frontier and by Fios. Pudge, okay, Elvis Andrus extended his hitting streak to 16 straight games. That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive. You know, it's good to continue doing that. He missed a couple of balls, but tough day from Drew Hutchinson today.
Well, I want to talk about Profar and his defense at third base. We'll go from there.
All right, got more coming your way, and maybe it'll be a Rangers comeback. Who knows? Dave and Tom, we're calling it right now.
Who better to talk about defense than the doctor of defense?
Making house calls on a Sunday afternoon. I love it. Well, Profar, who has had a really nice day defensively, has been on every time he's come to the plate as well. 3 walks and a base hit. Good guy to start this 9th inning rally for the Rangers. When he takes a strike, it's 1-2. Michael Givens, the 6th pitcher of the day for Baltimore. He got the final out in the 8th inning. And he deals high, 2-2. Nice one out to left field. Peterson right there. 1 away. Now it brings up Joey Gallo. Rangers scored a run last inning. Drew Robinson had walked. A wild pitch ultimately got him to third base, and he came in on an Odor ground ball. That made it a 3-run game just before Givens came in the game, which made it suddenly a safe spot for the right-hander. And he puts one on the inside corner for a strike to Joey Gallo. Now Givens had saved some games in the minor leagues. His final year in the minor leagues in Bowie in 2015, he saved 15 games and had a 1.73 ERA that year. In the big leagues, however, this has the potential to be his first big league save. Rangers hoping to keep him off the board in that regard. Gallo with a big swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Joey walked at an RBI single and then struck out his last 2 times up. He'll stay alive. Orioles made so many trades, and then Buck Showalter before the series began, lots of questions about how he would construct the back end of his bullpen. Specifically, well, who's going to be your closer? And he was very dismissive of that. He said, well, we have to be in those spots for that to really matter. Up and away, it's 2-2, and here they are. So Givens will get that first shot, apparently.
Well, given the makeup of their bullpen, the inexperience and the youth, he would be the logical guy.
Outside corner, strike 3 called, and Gallo goes down looking. 2 away. I need to correct myself. He's got a save this year.
Well, he tunes that one up in the upper part of the strike zone on the outside part of the plate at 98 miles an hour. Last inning he was throwing a little bit less than that, but now with a save on the line, he's airing it out.
Good power arm. Yeah, he has 1 save this year, 15 holds, an 0-6 record. In any case, with 2 outs, it's up to Chirinos to keep the inning alive here. Well, we had that 2-run single back in the first inning, a walk and a couple of strikeouts. And it's 1-1. Well, Rangers have already won the season series with Baltimore. They've won this series. It's the first time this year the Rangers have won a 4-game series. This one blooped. Back of first. Mancini will put it away. And that ends the ball game today. 9-6. Baltimore salvages a win in this 4-game series by taking the finale. So, Rangers will go back to work tomorrow against the Seattle Mariners. Stay tuned, though. Leslie McCaslin has a doctor of defense, and Pudge Rodriguez back in studio to break this one down for you this afternoon. For Tom Grieve, Emily Jones, and our entire crew, I'm Dave Raymond, inviting you to stay with us. More coverage of Rangers baseball coming up right after this.